Alright, guys, as always, I'm going to have the questions on the screen. And of course, I will be stopping this periodically through to kind of give my thoughts and opinions based on what is said, what is asked, and all that kind of good stuff. So the first question we have here is, what do you think the defense in the second half? So let's go ahead and listen up to what Coach Taylor has to say.
That game and win.
Well, I thought the way that our defense was playing overall the entire game, you felt like they were in pretty good control, and so we needed to keep that 2-score lead. That was kicking that field goal to go up 2 scores. You felt that was going to put us in big position. Obviously, they're an explosive offense. They went down and scored, and then I was happy that our offense was able to finish it out. That was a big run by Mixon there on the last play of the game. That put us in that position. That's something we got to pride ourselves on, is finishing with the ball to close out the game, and so I thought that they did that.
I will say overall, it's very nice relieving that we can trust our defense as much as we can, right? Because it's now multiple games where, reality-wise, if our defense does not play perfect in multiple games now, we are not winning, any of these games. And you look at throughout that game, after we scored our 14 points, we really went in a slump, right? We didn't score at all for a little bit of time. And a lot of that came down to, again, really just us struggling on offense and not being able to put points on the board. And yet again and again and again, our defense stepped up, went beyond the call of duty and figured it out for us pretty much. Obviously causing more turnovers. We had an interception. We had a fumble, right? 2 critical plays that really defined that game. And at the end of the day, it's seeming like every single week. I know Coach Taylor and Joe talks about this a lot, complimentary football, but it's almost to a point where it's not really that complimentary in certain parts of the game, and it's really just the defense stepping up and making plays and not as much of the offense. But there are times where the offense does step up, so I got to give them credit for that.
What was the decision, I guess, for the Titans to be involved as much as they were, or is that just where the ball went?
That's where the ball went. I thought Buffalo did a great job, man. They don't make it easy on you. I thought, they got a great team. Their defense, I thought, played really well and made things difficult. We had to earn everything we got. I thought our guys responded the right way. I thought our tight ends responded the right way. And that's why, we gave game ball to James Casey. He gets those guys ready. He plays a lot of them. They know every single detail of this offense. They're always prepared. We make a lot of adjustments in-game with the tight ends that they got to be able to handle. And so there's a lot of things that they did, not even when the ball came their way today, that they just did from a game plan standpoint that really helped us be successful.
I think a lot of that is also the fact that, they're really thin at linebacker, the Bills are. Matt Milano was out. Spector was out for them. They had to rest a linebacker out. And usually the guy who covers the tight end is either a safety or it's going to be a linebacker. And their linebackers being very, very thin, you got to think, what is the best way to target this defense, right? Well, yes, it is, of course, to target the fact that Tre'Davious White is out. And obviously Micah Hyde got hurt a little bit in this game. But it's also that linebacking core. And that's really where they targeted the best of. And that's what we saw other plays like Tyler Boyd get open across the middle. Plays where the linebackers would be, kind of the soft spot. And that's where, again, we just targeted over and over again. And the tight ends really did step up.
You guys signed Tanner, obviously, to the active roster, but for Irv to respond the way he did as well tonight, how important was that?
Not surprising at all. The way that Irv prepares, he puts himself in a position to be successful. And so days like today aren't surprising for that. Drew Sample, he does all the nasty things for us, and for him to make that play for that touchdown was special. And then Tanner came in and made the plays that came his way like we expected him to, and Mitch always has a role as well. So, those guys, they just you can't say enough about that room. I really can't say enough about James Casey. He sets the right attitude for that room, and they respond the right way, and they make the plays when their number's called.
And I think, honestly, just, the mentality of, you're getting a chance, right? You're getting a chance of a lifetime. Tanner Hudson is, obviously. He played when Irv Smith was out and didn't really do too amazing. With the time he did have the ball, he looked good. But, he didn't get too many opportunities, right? So it was already okay, how many opportunities is he going to get tonight? And every single time he got an opportunity. What I really like to think about is the third down and short play, where we threw the ball to Tanner Hudson for a first down near the end of the game. And it was a tough catch. It was between 2 defenders. He pulled that ball down. And that's just another play of, a player who doesn't get much opportunity out there, who isn't going to be a starter right now in this team, and he's trying to take advantage of every single opportunity, and it helped us win that game. There's certain things you see throughout the game that we don't always talk about, but plays like that, third down and short, converting, keeping a drive going, great plays like that, holding to a ball in a tough situation, it's plays like that that really win you the game.
By sample, is that the design of it for him to sling, or is that just kind of a little bit of almost an improv?
Yeah, that's great awareness, and that's just Joe trusting him and having an understanding of it's a very loose check down there that they got on the same page on, and so Drew can kind of just feel it as Joe feels it, and there's something to be said for that type of connection, and then for him to finish it off the way he did was awesome to see.
Zach, you guys have been creating turnovers quite a bit in this 4-game winning streak tonight. Another interception, forced fumble. Can you talk especially about the forced fumble?
Yeah, I mean, we preach it nonstop. Our defensive staff does a great job with the turnover circuit, the ball security, preaching it. Our guys know. Our guys, they've all been here so long. They know that's how you win these games, these close games particularly. They all do a great job of it. Jermaine Pratt's a big driving force of that, and I believe he's the one that forced the fumble that Nick got. No surprise there. That's just one of the many things that he does well for this team.
I mean, listen, guy, Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, they're obviously the best linebacking duo in the NFL. But we're going to get to a point now in the next couple years where we got to start talking about history. Because they are the dynamic duo. Logan Wilson, I think he leads the NFL right now in interceptions by a linebacker. And yeah, obviously Jermaine Pratt does not, but he had an interception last week, very critical interception. And then again, yes, this play as he just talked about, when he punched the ball right out of the hands of Dalton Kincaid. And that ball was, in reality-wise, Nick Scott made a great play. He goes underneath the bench to try to tackle him. He flips over Dalton Kincaid, and then Jermaine Pratt punches the ball out. If he doesn't punch the ball out, that's probably not a fumble. Now, Nick Scott recovered the fumble in the end, which was great, but that ball gets punched out by, of course, none other than Jermaine Pratt. I mean, this is getting to a point where I know they're never going to give us, our comeuppance of saying how good, Jermaine Pratt is, but he needs to go down one day as, greatest of all time.
How pleased were you to see T. Higgins with the performance he had tonight, 8 catches for 110?
Again, another guy I'm not surprised about. It was just I've told you he's kind of a victim of circumstance the way the season's gone so far with his injuries and things like that, and he stepped up big time. He won a lot of one-on-ones. He made a lot of big plays and moments we needed to have them, some for first downs, some for close to first downs. But I thought T did a great job. The slant route he went on that got us into the low red zone, before we kicked that last field goal was a huge win on third down. So that was big by T.
Big Sunday night game, good team. What made you guys so good at rising up to these types of moments over the last few years?
They're just the character of the team. These are the stages they want to be on. They don't shy away from them. That confidence is earned confidence. It's not anything phony to try to present themselves as if they're ready for these games. They've worked for it, and they trust not only themselves, but they trust their teammates to be next to them, making those plays that can win. And so the team was ready for the environment. Our fans were ready for this environment. The second biggest crowd in Bengals history. We could feel them. I really felt when Buffalo had the ball that they were loud, and they created some issues there for them, and that energy certainly fueled us today. So that was awesome to see. I like the striped sections too. I thought that was pretty cool.
We also own the Bills. Sorry, Buffalo. We own you. It's just a fact of the matter at this point. 3-0. 3-0 at this point. Listen, don't feel bad. KC's in the same department as you, okay? It's okay. You and the Chiefs, you're in the same area. We own you both. Just it. It is what it is. And the Browns own us. So, if you want to change that, you got to change that yourselves. And we're looking to change that with Cleveland. Trust us.
It seemed like every drive after this first couple was ending up with you in the decision in plus territory.
Yeah.
How were you thinking through? Would you give aggressive or conservative philosophy?
Yeah. As the game goes, you've got to evolve as well. And you're right there on field goal fringe a couple times. And ultimately we went for it on the 4th and 5. That's one we'll talk through to make sure I made the right decision there. We didn't get it. our defense was playing really well. So if you punt, you pin them deep. I think it was a 55-yard field goal at the time, which there's a lot of decisions to be made there, and you got to do them pretty quick. And that's one we'll talk through and see how we land on it if we do something different.
I will definitely say, so starting off the game, I think it was the third drive, was when we punted the ball. And it was 4th and 5. We didn't go for it. We punted the ball. And I thought that was a good call. I thought it was a good play in that situation. We're up 14-7, Don't give them unnecessarily good field position for no reason, right? Punt them. We pinned them deep. We actually punted them down to the 10-yard line. And actually had them 3 and out after that. So it was actually a really good play in the end. And it led to it actually led to the next drive, us going more aggressive on the 4th down and actually going for it and not getting it. But nonetheless, though, it's always a difficult situation, right? And in the moment, when you're in the moment and you're like, wow, we did not get that. That's crazy. We could have had points. We had field goals. And I find myself doing it a lot, too. And I do it throughout that last game last night. And, it's because we're passionate about the game. But at the end of the day, it's always easy to look at things in 20/20 vision, right? Because they always say, like, when a coach calls an aggressive play, it's either going to, make him look like an idiot or make him look like a genius, right? And you have games like, for example, the Ravens-Steelers. I think it was 3 years ago. They went for a 2-point conversion at the end of the game to try to win it and not give Ben Roethlisberger the ball back. They tried to go and win it. They lost the game on a 2-point conversion. If they would have kicked an extra point, they would have tied it up. They could have went to overtime. They tried to win it. They lost the game, right? And at the end of the day, now you look at it after the fact and go, oh, that's a stupid call. But in the moment, you're like, if I get that, that's not a stupid call. So it's always difficult because we're very passionate about a team, very passionate about winning. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's like Monday, as they call it, Monday morning quarterback. Because you're like, well, yeah, if we could have gotten that, but that's a what if, right? But if you do get it, then it's like, oh, that's a great play call. So it is what it is at the end of the day.
Originally were more conservative, and you were thinking it might play that way, but then your evolution in this game was maybe let's push a little bit more on.
There were some times early where we would have been aggressive, and it just the next play didn't happen that way, and so we didn't have to make that decision. So there were some that we either converted or didn't gain a little bit of yardage to go for it. So we were ready to be conservative again. I mean, ready to be attacking in a game like that.
Were you going to go for it if you didn't get it on the 3rd and 4 there at the very end, or did you already have the end of the 4th down in your head what you were going to do?
Well, we were in field goal range at that point, so that would have been a field goal right there and let Evan Eitz it for us.
Yeah, that would have been the worst play call of all time if you would have went for it there. Oh my gosh! Cause you gotta remember the Bills scored a touchdown and went for 2 to try to make it a 6-point game because they wanted to go score a touchdown at the end of the game and win on an extra point. So they went for 2 already and got the 2-point conversion. So if you don't kick a field goal there, I'll be honest with you, Coach, that would be really bad if you lost there.
That's awesome.
The 4 straight wins really feels like since Joe Burrow can start moving again.
Yeah.
Does it feel like this team is a championship contender again? It's kind of reminded everyone that's who this team is.
We don't need to worry about that right now. We know that we have a team that we trust and believe in, and we have a huge game next week against the Houston Texans, and that's all we need to worry about right now. We're not even at the midway point of the season yet, so the only thing that we can focus on is getting ready for Houston, and I know that our guys are going to do that.
How big is it to get a game like this on prime time against another team that's been in contention for the AFC title the last couple of years like y'all have?
Well, I mean, we have to prove it every single week. It doesn't matter if you're playing the Buffalo Bills or whoever else. I think we got a lot of great teams on our schedule that are going to be coming at us, with the Houston Texans being one of them. So, again, we just focus on whoever's in front of us. We got to be ready. We got to put in 6 great days of work, go put our best effort out on the field, find a way to get the win, and then move on to the next one.
Wait, what? He said we're not even at the midway part of the season yet. Coach, it's week 10. What are you talking about? Talking about like the overall season, like all the way to week 22, because the postseason? I mean, that's probably what he's talking about then, because if he's talking about the regular season midway is week 9. That's last week. So if he's talking about postseason, then that makes more sense, because then that'd be week 11, right? Because it's 22 weeks in a season with the playoffs and everything. So, okay, so I'm going to guess he's talking about that. Coach is very smart. I'm not going to think he would, mess up there, but Okay, so I'm guessing he's talking about the postseason too. So week 11. Okay, so we're like 2 games away from midway then. If we're talking about the postseason, because obviously got to keep in mind we're not thinking about just the regular season. We're thinking about postseason too.
Third straight game with opening a game with 2 offensive touchdowns. You say you want to always play with the lead. You've been able to do that over this streak.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's proven. If we can start fast and get a lead, our defense pins their ears back and gets after the quarterback and creates turnovers and obviously it's easier to call a game when you've got the lead on offense as well. So I think our guys really responded the right way to that.
Is that even more important tonight? Is that why you won the toss and took the ball? Did you feel like you had to get a lead early?
Yeah, I think it's a great way to start. Put pressure on the other team in a road environment for them and trusted our offense to go down there and be able to score.
Before the game, I know you're getting ready and focused on that, and you've seen him since, but DeMar Hamlin on the other sideline here again. What was that experience?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, like I've said, it's great the way it's all played out, and a lot of good has come from it. It's brought 2 communities close together that maybe otherwise wouldn't have any reason for that, and so it's great to see that he's doing well.
I will say, obviously what Coach says I agree with, but I will say what I think really is amazing at the end of the day is how much more as an NFL we care about player safety when it comes to learning how to deal with situations like the DeMar Hamlin situation, right? Because in all honesty, we have never had the DeMar Hamlin situation ever happen in football. This is the first time in history a player has passed away on the field or almost passed away on the field. So the fact that we now, have that experience, I think it's eye-opening for a lot of clubs, but it's also eye-opening to learn, right? And we already know that they taught everyone in Cincinnati how to do CPR. That this is something that's going to get around now and really get out there, and I think it opens the eyes of a lot of people. So I think this is a learning experience. It's like a hidden blessing. Could obviously hidden blessing because he's okay, he's safe, he's well, he's okay. If there was anything else like that, it would not be a hidden blessing at all. I just want to stress that enough. It's a hidden blessing because he is okay. But now we are really learning from this experience, right? And usually when you say that sentence, usually it's a negative connotation, like you're learning in a negative way because something bad happened. But no, this is a situation where, yes, something bad happened, but it wasn't a bad, end. It wasn't a bad end. It was a good end. He is okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel like it.
Your thoughts on Cam Taylor and how he was tonight and how he performed since he came to the bench?
Yeah, I mean, just creating turnovers is what it's about. And so Cam's got great ball skills. So, again, he continues. Every time the ball's in his hands, he's going to find a way to make that pick. And so that's a great job by Cam. Okay, thank you.
Games coming in.
Man, Cam Taylor, Brett. I still low-key think he faked that one injury. When they were going down the field on us, and then he got hurt. And then, he came out, the game slowed down, and then we stopped him. Low-key, I feel like he faked that injury. But, whatever, it's whatever.
Tonight you started 11-14.
Yeah, Zach and our coaches come up with great script early on to really attack what we're trying to see, and we just always feel good coming into the game. So
Ironically enough, the first 15 plays of every game is scripted. Just how it works, right? That's the 15 plays you work on the most in practice, and you try to prepare for the most for. So I'm not surprised that as it says right here, as he's talking about right here, he's 11-for-14. First 15 plays were scripted the whole entire week. So those should be your best plays possible.
Gotta keep that going.
So you guys hadn't gotten a ton of productivity from tight ends over the first 7 games. What did it mean for those guys to do what they did tonight?
Yeah, those guys were awesome today. They really stepped up. Tanner, Irv, Mitch, Drew, they all made big plays for us. So we're going to need more of it.
What were you dealing with, Joe, on your finger?
It was
second quarter.
A little cut, nothing bad.
Joe, Zach always talks about how November football is different for you guys. Just a couple weeks into November, how do you feel about the way you guys are going offensively?
Yeah, we're coming along. We played well the last couple weeks. We just got to keep it going. We're going to keep getting better every day in practice. Keep talking through routes. Keep talking through what we're trying to accomplish, and go from there.
4th and 1, you show a lot of confidence in Tanner. What was your thought process on that?
Remind me what play that was?
I think it was a 4th.
What part of the field?
toward you, toward the locker room?
Yeah, I can't quite recall that play. But Tanner, I have a lot of faith in. He's makes plays on scout team every week, and so when he was up, I felt really confident about his ability to get open and make plays for us.
I think he was talking about the play I talked about earlier with Tanner Hudson, where it was to the left-hand side in double coverage. And again, it was 3rd and 5 actually, and not 4th down. I think the reporter messed up. It was 3rd and 5, and he throws the ball literally in double coverage, and Hudson goes up like this, grabs the ball, grabs against his body, falls to the ground. It was such a great play to continue a drive that we needed to continue on that.
Joe, as much as you guys take pride in starting fast the last several games, closing out games is probably even more important. What does it say about this offense that you can execute under those situations?
Yeah, last 2 weeks we were able to put together drives to close out games. That's what we need out of our offense.
What happened on the thing? Do you know when you got kind of hurt?
No, you don't really know what happens. It just started bleeding.
Doesn't have any effect on through it?
No.
The last finishing drive, were you expecting them to push up and try to throw over the top? Was that kind of something in the moment when you looked at it and said, let's go?
Well, they, in those situations, they got to be more aggressive because, if we run the ball well, we could just run the clock out. So, I expected a little man. TB made a great play for us, ran a great route. We were able to connect on it.
What about the pass you threw the tee on that bullet? I think it was set up the field goal. Can you go through that play, what you saw there? It seemed like quite a...
Yeah, I think you're talking about the slant in the red zone. Yeah, T. I told T coming into the game, he was feeling good, so I was gonna, feed him the ball today, and he came out big for us, stepped up big for us. He's going to continue to do that. He always does. I have a lot of faith in that guy.
Sad part is that after that play, which was a great play, as he's saying, that's what led to, remember, the field goal where we went, 3 and out on the goal line, and we ended up throwing the ball to Joe Mixon's feet at the end because it was just back-to-back-to-back mess-ups. So it's like really great play, but then it's like it was such a bad execution. We kicked the field goal, and we made it a 14-point game.
Specific to this game, what did you feel like you guys did well enough on offense in terms of what your game plan was against this Buffalo defense that led you guys to be able to win tonight?
Yeah, we made plays. They do a good job on defense, disguising coverages, giving us different looks, bringing pressures, and disguising those. So, you have to be ready to adjust and adapt on the fly. I thought we did that really well today.
Joe, what does it say about this team back here to run off 4 straight? I know you've done it before last year, certainly the year before, but to rebound from the start you guys had and to get hot again, what does it say about this team?
Yeah, we were 1-0 this week. That's all that matters. We got to be 1-0 next week too. So we're just taking it a day at a time. We'll come in, watch the tape tomorrow, go through our routine, and we'll go from there.
We gotta remember last year we won the last 8 games in a row. Then 9 wild card, 10 divisional, and almost 11 championship. Like that's insane, man. That's insane to win 8 in a row in the regular season.
As a matter of fact response, just kind of the mentality about long way to go. There's no way we're going to make too much of this.
Yeah, this was only game 8. We still got 9 games left, so we're 5-3 right now. We're in a great spot. We just got to continue to get better.
What's the most encouraging thing you've seen out of the team over the last couple of weeks, given the quality of the opponent you have and kind of the way you're performing?
Yeah, we're really happy with how we played the last couple of weeks. We got to keep it going. We were 1-0 this week. We got to be 1-0 next week too. This week means nothing. We'll come in tomorrow, watch the tape, lift, go about our business. We'll go from there.
You mentioned that T said he was feeling good. Did you know before the game that this was going to be a game where you're going to be actively looking for him more than maybe other players?
Not specifically, but I knew that, I liked the matchup with him today in one-on-one situations, and we were able to get some. When they were playing man, they were shading the safety over to Jamar, and so, T had to step up, and he did.
What's it like as a quarterback to see Zach be aggressive on 4th downs in certain situations as y'all are in a game like this?
Yeah, I always have faith in our ability to get the job done in those situations. We did and we didn't in certain situations, so we got some improvement to do there.
Zach just once tonight. What did you think about the offensive line?
Yeah, they played really well. We'll watch the tape and go from there, but I thought I had time to do what I needed to do today.
Yeah.
Overall, I will say, it was a great day. It was a great win, a great team win. I think overall wise, it sucks that the rest of the AFC North keeps winning over and over and over and over again. But we'll be fine, guys. We are back. We are back. We're better than ever. And we just got to, as Joe says, we got to keep rattling off wins and keep winning, 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 winning. As Al Davis said, just win, baby, win. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.